Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Facebook and other platforms. I'm Kelly Dunn here in the News Channel 5 studios, and I am joined by Bernadette O'Grady, our esteemed Programming and Community Services Director here at News Channel 5, who actually, I've been at the station, it'll be 36 years in February. Bernie's been here
40.
Thank you. She beats everybody for longevity and institutional knowledge, which brings us to a lot of what we're talking about, which is our Food for Families food drive, which is in its 37th year.
Somewhere
36,
there, yes.
37.
Yes,
exactly. We think it started back in 1985, the year before I started at Channel 5. But this has been a food drive that has been so important to the station that, as you can see, it's still going on. We're actually starting an all-day food drive tomorrow up in Stewart. I'll be out there broadcasting live. Hopefully it's not going to rain again. Bernie will be out there. Yeah. And we've had a few years where we've gotten some pretty big downpours, but
but it doesn't stop us because it's mostly canned food, and so we keep it. And so we also have tents that keep it undercover there too, and box it up as quickly as we can, and we get it out to the agencies. We have several different agencies that come throughout the day and take the food that we raise throughout the day. So it all stays local. That's one of the best things about this campaign. It stays local. The food that's raised stays even in the county that it's raised in. So that's kind of nice. Everybody wants to do something that helps the local effort, and God knows there's a need for it this time around. I mean, we all saw when the pandemic happened, kids at schools weren't getting their lunches. I mean, look at the effort that it went all out to just give families the meals that the kids were going to be missing. Absolutely. So yes, there's a lot of pantries throughout the Palm Beaches and the Treasure Coast here that have had all of their supplies basically depleted completely. So that's kind of what this drive, and really any other food drive that you're seeing done, is to help replenish what we're doing here for the community. There's so many people that are on the edge.
Well, Bernie, you've been here since the very beginning, and it was started with a man we knew very well, especially Bernadette, and loved dearly, and that was our former Vice President and General Manager, Bill Brooks. We named the food drive after Bill, after his passing.
Yes.
And talk about when it did start. I think, Channel 5 it's just something that's synonymous with Channel 5 as Food for Families. But how did it start?
Well, in 1984, the British song of Do They Know It's Christmas, which was all about the hunger over in Africa. And then there was going to be Live Aid, which happened in 85 too, on top of that. So I went to Bill and said, because I've always been in community service. From the first time I got hired, I was in public service, community service. And I said, we really should be doing something for this effort in Africa, because it's becoming a very big global effort. And he said, well, Bernadette, there's like hundreds of families here in our community that probably need it as much as in Africa. We should be doing something to help the local people. So from that, it became, this was even like with less lead up time than you can possibly imagine. We decided this like in October that we were going to do this for the 6 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. And so it was this mad scramble to, okay, well, how are we going to do this? Who are we going to get involved? The folks at Pratt Whitney stepped up. They helped us print things like posters and labels. This happens to be one from a little more recently that the Stewart News did. But I mean, we had posters that we mailed out to anybody who was going to hold a drive. I'll show that right there on camera, that kind of thing.
Schools did a lot of drives.
Schools did drives. They still do. I mean, this year won't be, because the schools are dealing with everything else. But really, the schools were a very big part of getting them involved. And so Pratt did their own drive with their own employees. We then reached out to IBM, and they donated boxes, empty computer boxes, for us to put the food in. And he's going to show you some footage. The very first year we did this, because we really didn't know how the most efficient way of doing it. This was a space, it was a storefront that was donated to us at the Cross County Mall, the old Cross County Mall on Military and Okeechobee.
Okeechobee. That's right. Oh, and remember Freddy's was in there, that store, Freddy's. I used to love Freddy's. Had like everything. It was kind of like a Walmart before a Walmart, sort of, kind of. Anyway, so we digress. So the Cross County Mall was in West Palm Beach, and that's where all this was staged.
Right. So we decided we were going to set it up like a grocery store. And so the ladies that you see there were all women volunteers who were associated with the Guild of the Lord's Place. And they came out lovingly, nicely. Every day we had a different group of ladies who were there. And the food that was collected was brought back there, sorted sorted. So we put like, all the corn, all the beans, all the, rice, everything was all put together in one area. And then IBM donated boxes, and charities would come to the storefront there at Cross County and get boxes of food. We would weigh it. We actually weighed it like twice. We weighed it coming in, and then we weighed it what we were giving them handing out. So that was a very labor intensive way of doing it. We don't quite do it that way anymore, but we did find out, I was telling Kelly, the best thing we found out was that creamed corn is the heaviest canned vegetable you can buy. Because
who knew?
Who knew?
Creamed corn. If you want to get your bang for your weight, that's what you got to buy.
If you're buying by poundage, let's go with the creamed corn. So now we don't really, handle it as much. We basically, as it's coming in, you can see this was from our one of our all-day drives recently that we had. Not recently, but like probably 2019. Yep. So we basically box it sort of, hodgepodge as it comes in, because what happens is we give it out to the agencies, and then they go through it and they make separate boxes. They may add turkeys to it, or hams, or whatever that they get as far as protein, to make it a full box. But it's also stuff that's just staples. It's not just all Thanksgiving food. As you can see, it's food that really lasts a family for many, many meals beyond Thanksgiving. So,
and sometimes at the drives, we'll have people come up that are in need of food.
Yes.
And again, this is all given to the various nonprofits that they then distribute it. So you just refer those people to one of the many partners.
Exactly. And we've been partnering for years with organizations like the Urban League here in Palm Beach County. The last couple of years, the United Way has helped us greatly, especially last year when we couldn't really hold an in-person drive. You're seeing that now with you can text to give money, you can call, or you can go online at the WPTV.com/food4families, and it'll take you to basically how you can donate money if you don't want to be bothered going through the whole buying groceries and hauling them someplace to drop them off kind of thing.
And just like recently with the literacy, give a kid a book drive that we did here at the station, and that the Literacy Council did, the dollars that are donated for Food for Families actually go even farther than you could with what you buy in the store. Right.
That's true. Because the money goes to like food banks that can buy food at a much discounted rate than we could, or you as an individual donor could do it. So they are very, very helped by that. And again, when you go online to that, if you live in Martin County and you want your money you're donating to go to Martin County, you can designate it, or St. Lucie County or Indian River County. All of the United Ways are working together to be able to do that and make that possible, that your money is staying locally if that's where you so designated. So it's kind of fun.
I think the pandemic, it really did shine that light last year on food insecurity in South Florida and in the country, and to see people on food lines basically at churches and nonprofits, etc. It really does make you take a step back. When you're thinking of something like this and going, what a basic need.
Yes.
And yet some people are without.
Right. And there are some schools that actually will tell us they're in impoverished areas, and they'll say, can we keep the food that we raise and give it to some of our students here and their families?
Oh,
Bertie,
I know.
She's like, oh my gosh.
I know.
Yes, but
really?
they keep
I didn't know
yeah.
they did that.
Yeah, some of the schools do. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Because they're, not only feeding breakfast and lunch for a lot of their students, but they're sending them home with bags of groceries or letting them shop in their kind of like school kind of country.
I know.
So,
it's really, really sad.
I know.
It really is.
And when you think of something that everybody can afford to do, and then to help someone do something everybody does, which is eat, every little bit does help and does count. And, we see that when we're after all of the drives and we're getting the big totals together, and it's just incredible. I can see why I didn't know you were as instrumental as you were in it, combined with Bill Brooks,
really
who loved and adored you. But I can see why this
it's a very
thing
tactile way. I mean, you really see yourself, you see what you're collecting, what you're giving back. You get a chance to see a lot of times the people that are benefiting from it. But you also get to see the generosity of this community, which is, again, another touching thing. I got to stop breaking myself up and making myself cry. But it's true. There's lots of times there's people that will come up in a car and you're thinking, oh, they're going to ask for food, and they're donating food. So it's amazing.
Trunkfuls. We've been out there. There are
food.
people that'll come up on a bicycle Literally, they'll come up on a bicycle and say, well, I wanted to donate this,
To
or here's what I have, or, here's all I have. But that's even more special.
It is. So we are having 3. Last year, we weren't able to hold the in-person drives, but this year we are doing 3 in-person drives. We have one tomorrow, Friday, all day, starting at 6 a.m. and going till about 6:30, 7 o'clock at the Stewart branch, the one on Colorado Avenue for Seacoast Bank. And then the next Friday, we are at the Seacoast branch that's out on Boynton Beach Boulevard. And then the Friday after that, on the 19th, we're actually out in Wellington at the Seacoast branch out there doing an all-day drive. Same hours for all of them, 6 a.m. to basically 6:30, 7 o'clock. And you can drive up. Plus, if you can't get there all those 3 days, any Seacoast branch is a drop-off for food for families. Good point. So if you're going by a Seacoast or there's one in your neighborhood, anytime that the lobby hours are open, you can make a donation to Food for Families. Just drop off your canned goods or non-perishable food items.
And Seacoast and all of the sponsors over the years are invaluable. What do they help with as far as making this happen?
Well, first of all, they donate a lot of their employees' times to help us, because we have tents set up and people drive up, and it's all manned by Seacoast employees, which is wonderful. And they help us. As you're seeing this guy now, we weigh the food, we mark it down, we box it up, seal it up. They are wonderful in that they collect and have displays in their lobbies for this and are able to do that. And then they have also helped us with designating some of the local charities that, each branch has a charity or two that the food is going to. And so that's really wonderful as well. It's just, they're a wonderful community partner. They're a community bank. They've been here 1,000 years, just like Bernadette has worked at Channel 5 1,000 years. But they really have been here a very long time. And it's really a family owned kind of thing. And they really are very genuine about their support of the community in this campaign.
If someone's watching this, Bernadette, and says, well, I want to hold a food drive. I want to do, what can they do?
They can call us actually at the station or email us. And what we'll do is the best thing to would be to call the station. And what they'll do is put you over to probably my phone, or they'll tell you how to email me. And then we can sort of get you on the list of people who are holding a drive. And then if you need help in finding a charity that you would like to give it to, we can find out what's locally available, what charities are in your area and are closest to you. That's how we usually do the drives with the schools. The schools call us, they register and say, our school's holding a drive and it's going to be completed by, November 10th. Can you come send somebody by that point? And then we match them up with a charity in their area that that has trucks to come out and pick up the food and process it and do all of that kind of stuff.
And are we doing the all-day drive here at the station?
No, we're just doing the 3
just those 3 this
year,
right? Not the one. Sometimes we have people come here, but
where we are here on Banyan Boulevard, it's all torn up.
It's all under construction.
It's under construction, so it's almost a nightmare even for us as employees to try and get in the building. So the last thing we needed to do was bring more traffic down to downtown, trying to get in the driveway.
Try this obstacle course to come drop off your canned corn.
Exactly. Don't fling it out the window. I know you might want to do that, but there is that. But it's fun. Yeah, we were just laughing about, the first time you do something like this, we had no idea what it was. And so we're flying by the seat of our pants and everything was funny, but we had these events that we were raising food at.
Yes.
So we had a night at Highlight, when there was a Highlight Fronton.
I remember there was the Highlight Fronton in West Palm Beach.
Exactly. We had a night at the Kennel Club. We had 2 nights actually at the Leaky Teepee, the
old West Palm Beach Auditorium, which is now the Jehovah's Witness Convention Center right there.
Their meeting room, right? But we had it was a wrestling night there. And then later, are you ready? Neil Sedaka concert.
Get out.
Neil Sedaka. And Kent Earhart interviewed Neil Sedaka.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
It was a lot of fun. So, we were just thinking of all kinds of different ways we could get out and get the message out and reach it, because we really didn't have a lot of lead up time for it, but it was very nice. But going back to the guys at Pratt Whitney, the joke was They were because, they're engineers out there. So they raised all this food, and it was a lot because they have a lot of employees. At the time, they had a lot of employees, but they calculated the weight of the exact food for us, minus the weight of the cans and the boxes.
Minus the can
I
weight?
know. And
What?
we're thinking we want that weight. We need that weight in there. So that was pretty funny that they had this like massive truck that dropped it off, and they had the food, the weight all calculated out.
Oh my god.
Proud of you, Pratt Whitney, for that. Those
is-
great engineers. Yep.
It's been some good times, and just heartwarming to see a tradition continue on and on and on.
And Bill was so proud of this. I mean,
I know, right?
he'd be really proud. I'm sure that, his name's now attached to it, but of course, he was also very deprecating about taking the credit for anything. So I think his whole thought would be, he's so proud to see that this is going on.
Yes.
Maybe not proud that we still have a need for it, but proud that we're still, an instrument in place for us to be able to do food raising and to be able to touch the community in such an impactful way. So,
and I remember talking to Bill about this in general, and it was that feeling that, we all need to do something for our community, but as a television station that, has the responsibility, and all of these people that turn to us, we need to kind of lead the way and show that this is the right thing to do. I mean, Bill was the best at doing that.
Yes.
Former priest who became our general manager and was just an absolute
he had
gentleman.
A very interesting career trajectory.
Yes,
there.
he did.
and people would know him
to
from,
TV.
Yeah, and everybody you would ever meet would say, "Oh, I knew him. He was a counselor over at Cardinal Newman High School. He was my school counselor there." So, I mean, Bill and his wife taught school over in Palm Beach. So between the two of them, everybody knew the Brookses in some way, or shape or form. Either your kids were taught by them, or you went to school with them, or whatever. But it was a lot of fun. They really had a great sense of what's important. And I remember once asking Bill about Channel 12, which was very instrumental, by the way, because of Alex Dreyfus, the owner, in building the Kravis Center. That was a huge undertaking that he wanted to see, and that the station Channel 12 got behind. And I remember saying, shouldn't we be helping with arts and culture? And finally, Bill looked at me and said, "Bernadette, we feed hungry people. So you really can't get more basic than that." And I thought, well, he's probably very right about that. That's true. So, I mean, it's
in
just
his Boston
wonderful.
accent.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. We feed hungry people. So, yes, it was great. And it has been great. I mean, every general manager since has embraced it.
Yep.
Usually added something to it, a suggestion. We were just talking, Steve Wasserman was a general manager starting in 2008 for us for about 7 or 8 years. He decided to do the all-day drives. So that was his contribution in addition to that. And I think those have been really great, even just for our own station, because
Big
I think
success.
When we do them, it's an opportunity for the community to see us face up close, us to get a chance to thank them, and plus us to, it's almost like an outward bound kind of experience. We all take a shift, come on out, help with food, weighing, boxing, whatever it is. We always have to have a class on how to box, because people put the potato chips do not go on the bottom, and then like 2 layers of
Did
cans
no
on
one
top.
work at Publix or Winn-Dixie?
I know. It's just so funny. And then I'm determined, because we buy the boxes now to get as much weight as we can in that box. So I'm like packing it in every
Tetris.
It is with every small little thing. Oh, I can fit a Jell-O box in here. Oh, I can fit a little bag of rice over in this corner, and the thing is packed to its fullest capacity. But it's fun. And you can see it's even dark by the time we finish.
Well, it's dark when you start.
The time change. Yeah, it's dark when you start and dark when you finish. But it's a fun time. And we really appreciate everything that the community does for us. But most importantly, everybody who takes the time to help and contribute to this, because it really makes a big difference.
Absolutely.
For many people.
Let's put the slate up there. So Peter, if you could, so we can just show people again, if you can't make it out to any of the 3 all-day drives starting tomorrow in Stewart, then there is a way that you can either donate, and we'll put
of us. We'll both be there, but you're probably going to come to see Kelly. Let's not kid ourselves.
No, but after this, they're going to be like, "Where's Bernadette?
Yeah, exactly.
Where is
the big mouth?
Where's Bernadette O'Grady?"
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
There you
Well,
go.
thank you. Thank you.
This
We
was
could
fun.
sit and talk for an hour and then go on to many other topics.
Right.
But I do have a newscast in about
Yes,
35 minutes.
that
and
you do.
You have to get back to Food for Families
Exactly.
and get some rest before
Yeah.
the next 6
Because
weeks.
I'm there at dark 30 in the morning.
And she's packing up the tables at dark 7 p.m.
o'clock. Yeah. It's crazy.
Thanks, Bernadette.
You're welcome.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank
And thank you for supporting Food for Families this
Thanks.
year.
Thanks.